listening to the Scoop Slam Podcast.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Scoop Slam Podcast. We are back. A weird week of wrestling to talk about. I can't call it interesting, but we'll make it interesting. Thank you for joining us for another week, ladies and gentlemen. I am one half of your hosting team, Micah. On the other end of the call, as always, the historian of the Scoop Slam Podcast. He is Mr. Slammed himself. It's Ryan.
Yo, Micah. That's Mr. Slamhausen now. I'll have you know.
Oh,
But yeah, it's great to be back here with you. Another week of wrestling. A very odd week of wrestling, if I'm being honest. But we'll talk about it, we'll run it down, and probably start off with a little Scoop 5, Micah. I know you know a little something about this right here. This is what we do on the weekly shows. I start out with my 5 best wrestling news headlines that I came across this week. And we're starting out hot, Micah. Sammy Guevara removes AEW from his social media bio as question grows about his future. And we got this little update. This is from, I believe it's the Wrestling Observer. And it says, nobody in AEW seems to know what's up with Sammy Guevara right now. Multiple sources told me that Tay Mello requested her release. Tay Mello is, of course, Sammy Guevara's longtime wife. A long time. They've been married like 2 years.
not a long time.
About two years. His second wife at that. But Tay Mello requested a release last year, but it was denied. It's expected we will know what's up when everyone gets to TV tomorrow. That's from Brian Alvarez from the Wrestling Observer radio show. So, Micah, is this a nothing burger, or do you think Sammy's done? What do you make of this situation?
Well, I think that he will probably find his way back to the Iron Islands, learn that his father's death was at the hands of his uncle, and then eventually die in the Great War during the Battle of Winterfell. Oh, I'm sorry.
Talking about Sammy here, damn it.
Yeah, I thought I'm sorry, I got confused between Reek and Sammy Guevara because they're the same person.
They are.
I'll just say this. It's a funny piece of business. I saw that t-shirt. Do you remember the shirt that said like Destiny or whatever, and it had Sammy Guevara on there? It was like Kid Sammy flexing, and then it was like that awful drawing of him with the AEW World title.
I remember that.
Yeah, it's over for you, buddy.
Wrap it up.
Maybe they send him to like AAA if WWE scoops him up. But yeah, I don't know, man. He's just uninteresting. And it's crazy because at one point in time, he was by far like number 2 on the pillars. MJF was always number 1, but I could like easily see an argument to have him. Okay.
He was always hanging around that main event-ish scene, especially with Chris Jericho, and he had feuds with Cody Rhodes. But yeah, over the last couple years, man, I'm not gonna say that this is Mercedes Moné's fault, but it correlates with him being just hidden away on ROH and pretty much becoming a mute in ROH and AEW. He would do tag matches with Dustin Rhodes, and I don't know if a lot of our fans know this, but he had that little crude, nasty, disgusting comment about Sasha Banks, Mercedes Moné, when she was in WWE, saying that he called into a radio show, Mike. I remember when this happened because I was watching this guy. I listened to this guy's podcast on YouTube, and I didn't know anything about Sammy Guevara, like his work, because he was a young wrestler at that time. But he straight up said that he wanted to R-word Sasha Banks, and it got I forget how it got dug up, but it got dug up when Sammy was on AEW television, and he got suspended. Went to what they sent him to, that like sensitivity training of some sort,
like that.
Micah. Yeah, and then, but he's been like a problem child for almost the entirety of AEW. You remember when he knocked out Matt Hardy in that match? He had a pay per
Yeah,
view match with Matt Hardy, knocked him out, knocked out Jeff Hardy too. Remember that?
yeah, knocked out Jeff. He had a
What he?
weird angle with like he proposed to his girlfriend on
Oh,
Rampage, and then like 3 months later was with Tay Mello or Ty Conti, and then him and Andrade got in a backstage fight at one point in time.
remember when he refused to work with TNA, and that pretty much ended the TNA partnership?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that too.
Yeah, that bro has been a problem child for a long time now. And it's crazy that the fans just kind of, dusted under the mat. He's still over. He can do a bunch of moves, and he's a great wrestler. And they always sung his praises. But when you look at the original four pillars, man, it's not aging too well. I think maybe one and a half have moved on to success, and then you got Jack Perry and you got Sammy Guevara.
Yeah, it's kind of sad because like for a while, I still would have put Sammy at like 3, but now, I
Yeah,
mean, definitely if he doesn't get picked up, he has to be 4 in the scenario. And I think ultimately, creatively, what did his demise was the whole, when they went from being the inner circle to the JAS, because there was like a time where him and Jericho were teasing a split and then he just stayed with him. And then after that, it was like, like, why does anybody care? Because I think some of the Jericho stink got on him. And I just
yeah.
think that Jericho was popular enough to like eventually kind of wash it off. I think it's still a little bit there. But
Was
Guevara,
that
man, just the stink stayed.
was that was the Jericho stuff? Was that before he turned babyface with Tay Mello? Because you remember that didn't work at all. Because they wanted him to be heel. The fans did. And he should have been heel. He has a punchable face. But they turned him babyface and it just kind of killed all his momentum. Was that before Jericho Appreciation Society? I think it
It might
was.
have been. And then I
And then
think
yeah,
they put him back
they
in the
yeah,
JAS. So it just felt
that's
like he
right.
regressed.
That's right. Yeah, you're right. So yeah, that killed a lot of his momentum. Bro, I really thought that, and we say this a lot, but I thought he was an AEW lifer because, bro, do you remember Tony Khan paid for his wedding and
Oh,
was at his
yeah.
wedding? And I don't know, maybe this is just rumor and innuendo, but I thought that Tony Khan is like the godfather of his kid. Like I if anybody was gonna be an AEW lifer, I thought it was gonna be Sammy Guevara, especially with all his past like transgressions, and he still somehow managed to keep a job. But yeah, TNA would be a good fit. I could see that. Be
TNA
crazy
needs him.
because it'd be crazy because he was the one that refused to work in TNA, and then he would have to go to TNA. But yeah,
That's
in
what I'm
wrestling,
saying. Like,
it's never burned bridges in wrestling, so I wouldn't put it out the realm of possibility of TNA or like it's AAA is a good landing spot. I wouldn't mind that.
yeah, it's just I don't know. Does WWE want him with the
Oh, wait a
PR
minute.
stuff?
Tony D'Angelo needs somebody to pin, pal.
Huh.
Tony
Oh
D.
well. Is one of your scoop five gonna be?
Oh well, we'll hold up now. Don't bury
All
the
right, go
lead now.
ahead.
We'll get
Go
there.
ahead.
We'll get there. You know what? I'll segue into it. Why not? This was gonna be my last scoop five, Micah, but right here you just brought it up, so I'll run with it. Mike Santana debuted on NXT tonight, but they did not give him a name, Micah. So, what do you any thoughts on that? Mike Santana showing up in NXT with no name?
My favorite thread running through NXT shows is, "Oh my god, I
It's
can't
him.
believe they're here."
That's them. Can you
That's
believe it? Oh man,
oh
he looked
my
like $1 million
god.
though. Mike Santana did.
He did, and they had a lot of the fans were into it. they did kind of talk him up as like a former TNA champion and everything. I'm I'm happy for the guy because ultimately Santana bet on himself after
Yeah,
leaving AEW
yeah.
because they did not see him as a single star. And he said that was what he wanted eventually. Bet on himself, went to TNA, grinded, struggled through kind of a dark period of TNA to start with, to then take TNA to new heights as the world champion, whether that be because of him or the partnership of between WWE, still falls on his shoulders because he was champion at the time. To now make it all the way to NXT, I'm excited for the guy. He is not a next level promo, but he can cut a decent promo. And in the ring, he's I don't even know
He's
how to
g-
describe it.
he's decent to good depending on the
Yeah.
opponent. I think he's still got a very high ceiling as far as like potential goes, and he's still young enough where he can get a lot of mileage out of the main roster. And this is a guy, like you said, bro, he grinded. He bet on himself, and you like to see success stories like that. And NXT is very, very barren at the top when it comes to top talent on the men's division. At least they need talent, and Mike Santana or whatever that guy, whatever he's gonna do, he's gonna be at the top of the card, and there's a spot there for him to be that that ace for NXT. So he's gonna do well, and I'm excited to see. I'll tune in to NXT. I keep a eye on it, but I'll probably watch more episodes if that guy is in NXT.
Yeah.
That
And
person.
another thing going in his favor is WWE is always looking, especially now with the addition of AAA, they're always looking for stars
Mm,
that can
yeah,
cross over into, the Hispanic fan base.
yeah,
Santana fits that. So,
he does.
also another
Yeah.
positive. I think it's a good signing all around. He is 35, so it's not necessarily a young guy, but I could see, a year in NXT and you pull him up to the main roster.
Yeah. Yeah, and if they do another PLE in Puerto Rico, that's your guy. That's your guy. You put in a high billing position.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll keep our eyes on it. We'll root for Mike Santana around here, but we'll move on, Mike, unless you got something else to add here.
I just want to say this Scoop 5 is
Oh,
very
go ahead.
inner circle
Nope.
filled right
Oh, man.
now.
What's Ortiz up to?
Ring of Honor.
How does that guy feel?
I feel bad for him, honestly. Hey man, don't worry, we got Eddie Kingston to be your partner.
Oh
Oh,
God,
thanks.
Burger Kingston. Yeah, appreciate that, pal. We'll move on, Mike, to an announcement. I don't know if you caught this, Mike. I think we may have texted about this, but WWE has announced Worlds Collide in Chicago on September 26th at the All State Arena on the same date and in the same city as AEW All Out. So, Micah, is this too far with counter booking in the same city on the same day, or you got any? You don't have a qualm with this, Micah?
Is it a gross promotional tactic? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
However, does it mean that competition is competition? Also, yes.
Mm.
So I am a fan of this solely as a fan, like in the fan chair, because I get to see the chaos between the two. But let me ask Ryan, is Worlds Collide, who all is that involving? Is it just AAA and
And
NXT?
yeah, NXT, AAA. Maybe they'll have a main roster guy, but it's usually historically is NXT, AAA head to head, and yeah, it'll be a lot different this year because AAA's gotten a lot more. I won't say popular with the English market, especially with it being free on YouTube, and of course the El Grande feud brought a lot of new fans to the product, such as us. But yeah, it's yeah. bro, competition is supposed to be good until you actually compete. It's a weird dichotomy here that we got going on. But if you're a wrestling fan in Chicago, Michael, wouldn't you like having the choice of going to either or? I would.
Yeah, I mean,
Or you
I
go to
didn't even
both.
think about
If you
that.
balling
People
like that,
native.
if you balling like that, you can go to both. I'm sure it'd be cheap tickets for Worlds Collide. And you know what? All Out might be pretty cheap too, man. They AEW has been giving out cheaper tickets. I give them their due there. So if you're a wrestling fan in Chicago that weekend, you're gonna be eating good, man. If you love you some graps, some wrestling, just enjoy
Yeah.
wrestling. They say, Micah. But of course, online WWE is literally the devil for sacrificing the NXT and AAA shows just to stick it to AEW.
Dude, God. I get it, man. Like, again, is it a like I said, is it a disgusting promotional tactic? Absolutely. But I'll be dang if you think Coca-Cola don't see a billboard that Pepsi has and say, hey, we need a billboard right beside it.
Yeah,
Like, come on. It just, if anything, take it as a compliment. Because if they didn't deem you worthy, they wouldn't run any shows against you. Look at TNA.
yeah, yeah. I don't see a problem with it personally because you get more bang for your buck if you're a Chicago native. You love wrestling, and that weekend is gonna be your weekend. But you got anything else to add to this scoop right here, Micah?
Not really. I will say this, though. With the
Yeah.
addition of the aforementioned Mike Santana,
Mhm.
Santana versus El Grande, main event.
Uh, let me see who the world champion is at the time. Let me see who the world champion is.
Okay.
But yeah, there's a lot of good matchups a lot of great matchups we can see. Well, actually, I don't know. The NXT men's division ain't really popping off like that. Uh, and the AAA women's division, seems like we got
I
a
I
mismatch
know,
here.
like, yeah,
Yeah.
like Catalina and Flammer. That's
Well, hold up now. Well, where's Lahydra?
okay.
Is that? Give me some more Lahydra.
Whose side is Lola on?
Oh man, yeah. Oh, that's a good point. She could be the turncoat there.
Yeah, I'm down for it. See, we're already booking it. Nah, but
Yeah.
I am interested to see it, and it'll be a fun weekend. We'll definitely have to review both because they're gonna load that show down too.
Oh yeah. Well, I say that I'm excited, but once we get there, I probably won't be excited to watch 7 hours of wrestling on a Sunday. But
Yeah. Oh
we
my
move on, Mike.
god. Mr. Iguana versus the Vanity Project. Oh boy.
We move on, Micah. Uh, to AEW, Micah. Dynamite. AEW Dynamite this week pulled in its highest viewership since July 2024 with 786,000 viewers. So, Micah, does this prove that Kenny Omega is the biggest draw in AEW? Is the feeling restored, Micah?
I
Are we so
am
back?
I was a little shocked by this. I'm happy for him. I
That
definitely
show
thought that
stunk, though.
MJF would have been, the top draw, but yeah, they
Showed
had
out.
him and
Yeah.
then they crapped in their mouth with what Dynamite was that week.
Yeah, I was about to say the show stunk, bro. I hate that they showed up for that show.
Yeah, because the one the week before was pretty solid. I enjoyed
Yeah,
that Dynamite.
that was the actual special show, wasn't it? Beach break.
Yeah.
Yeah, they they showed up in full force to see Goku and Vegeta. Like they couldn't miss that.
Oh, oh God. We'll get there. But yeah,
What
I was shocked to see that.
better than usual show with a stinker of a card they put out there, but I don't know, man. They changed the rating formula so much with the Nielsen. Like, are we taking this as? Are we sure that this is? I don't want to be conspiratory, as if that's the right word I'm looking for. But I don't. Are we really buying it, Micah?
I'll take it because I think, again, like you said, the Nielsen system's so weird now, but I think
It
it's
is.
actually harder now to do bigger ratings because of how they changed the
No,
like.
no. You remember they switched the formula, and then it got really bad for all wrestling. But then they switched it again, and there was a big uptick in wrestling. And then they tweaked it again. So I don't know what's going on now. Is it
Uh,
is it more of a are they accounting the streaming numbers? I don't know. I don't know. Because if that's the case, if they did 800,000 and Uncle Dave tells us that they do 500,000 on Max, then aren't they beating SmackDown every week? Are you
yeah,
really
I
do you
guess
really think they beat SmackDown every week? Let's be honest.
I would like to
You
think
think more
so,
people you
just
think more
because of
people
how
watch
bad.
Dynamite? Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, I was gonna say I would like to think so, just because of how bad SmackDown has been, but no, probably not.
Yeah, I don't know. Something seemed a little flugazy here, Mike. Seem a little fraudulent. But congrats to them. Congrats to Omega. And yeah, uh, we are back, even though we never left. Like apparently, if you talk to any
We've always
sicko,
been here.
it's always been there. Yeah, it's always been great. But yeah, Micah, this you got anything else to add before we move on
No,
to
I
we've been
mean, just
moving through these scoops. We've been
yeah,
just
I'm just happy for them. If it's if everything is how it's supposed to be.
yeah, shout out them. Shout out them. But yeah, yeah. Move on here, Micah, to a little more contract news. And this came across my desk late in the evening, Micah, but one Sean Ross Sapp sent out a tweet. Mike, I don't know if you saw this, but Bailey is not believed to have signed her new contract with WWE, and AEW has long had their eye on when her contract is up, and it's well known within the company they will have major interest. And Sean also tweeted out more details on what agents and others and WWE and AEW are saying about her status and future now for subscribers at Fightful Select, and I'm not subscribing to them. So, Micah, is this it for Bailey in WWE, or do you think she resigns for a new contract?
I so let me ask you this: Is she still under contract going into SummerSlam or no?
Uh, I believe so, but that doesn't mean that they just won't use her. I mean, they could just let her sit at home for the rest of her contract.
Okay, because and we can kind of talk about this a little more as Saturday night's main event, but I don't think she's done just yet. Now, I say all that to say this: I do think she ends up in AEW, and
Mm.
I don't think that's a bad thing because she's really done everything that she can in WWE, and there is a big group of younger ladies that, are kind of taking over. But at the same time, I still think they're paying this Lyra feud off at SummerSlam.
SummerSlam in 2 weeks? Well, I guess they could add it late. They got 2 days to do stuff. And Lyra did. I know a lot of people didn't see it, but she did cut a promo on off air on Raw. I think it was during the commercial break, but she did mention Bailey. So it's not that that was her last match. You'll never see Bailey again. But yeah, I hope she gets as much money as she can. Micah, rinse the money mark dry. Get your money. If you're maybe a young women's talent over there in AEW, Micah, are you giving a little side eye for Bailey getting brought in with the red carpet treatment, and they're fighting for one TV spot a week, and now you got a main eventer coming in right away, and you got guys like Willow and Statlander and Megan Bain all getting just pushed off to the side even more.
Yeah, I would. I would be getting that way
Yeah,
because again, Willow's been there how long now? And in theory, she's going to get a world championship this weekend. Cross our fingers, but How long has that taken? How long did it take Stat to get there? And you think Bailey is going to be there 2 to 3 years before winning a world title? I don't think so.
I'm sure she'll do a team situation with Willow.
Oh well, her and Monet will have the tag titles before it's all said and done. And at the end of the day, I'm happy for her. Like, genuinely, go get your money. And she is more valuable to AEW right now because, like I said, I don't think WWE really needs her. Not a whole lot left for her to prove. She's a bona fide Hall of Famer in WWE. So
Yeah,
I'm fine with it, just like I was fine with Sheamus. And I think, kind of unlike Sheamus, Bailey can go to AEW and boost the division.
I thought we didn't reheat nachos in AEW, Micah. I think it's gonna be another Ricochet situation where she's just brought in for like the big match with. You remember Ricochet? Ricochet had that big match with Osprey that you thought that they were gonna build up to, and they just kind of added a month after Ricochet showed up. I think that's gonna be the situation with Bailey when she has that match with Mercedes. I'm sure that they'll probably do it at like Wrestle Dream. So yeah, we'll get that big match, and then she'll probably just be floating around, not doing much.
Is she instantly the best promo in the women's division?
Hmm. That's a good question. uh that can't be right.
I think she would have to be.
Um,
And
yeah,
I
maybe.
say that to say this. I don't think Bailey is just like, bona fide. Like, Becky Lynch, but she's definitely no Tekla.
Oh, well, yeah. Actually, she might be the best promo if she goes over there. She's a solid hand in the ring. I don't think she's gonna tear the house down.
No. Well, she's good, for the 12-minute TV match that AEW's government mandated to give the ladies right before the main event. That's all
You
we
know,
do here, pal.
they got a lot of women's segments on Collision. Maybe she'll just be a collider. Remember we were
A
colliders back in the day?
collider. Yeah.
Yeah, we used to collide.
Long, long time ago.
Yeah, but
You know, But before we segue here,
yeah,
we've been doing this for almost 4 years now.
that's crazy. We were there for when Vince said goodbye, and now here we are in almost 2027.
Yeah. And we just now have resolution to that case. And not even really, because,
Yeah,
wow, rich guy goes to private court. Wow. Who could have
yeah,
guessed, right?
yeah. But that'll conclude the Scoop Five for this week, Micah. And you can drive from here on out. Where are we gonna go, Micah?
All right. Well, we're pulling off the road, but where we're stopping before we swap seats is Madison Square Garden,
Oh,
New York, pal.
we just
In the
gonna drive
garden.
past, driving past the Dub.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Now we can leave them if you want. I don't mind. We can keep on rolling.
Well, I kind of talked about it a little bit on socials. So, if you want a hee hee ha ha laugh at that, go find that. I'll talk about it a little bit here. Dynamite was a stinker. And, if you enjoyed it, I'm happy for you. But really, the only thing that I was interested to check out was going to be the Omega Championship celebration. Much to my dismay, this was how it turned out. Kenny Omega celebrates, obviously, with his best friends ever, Michael Nakazawa, the Bucks, the whole
Oh my
nine.
god. Oh well, hold up now, Micah. The Bucks out there with their particular new T-shirt, and those of us with a keen eye and that watch, a little WWE and over the past 10 years, you would notice that the Young Bucks T-shirt color was the same color as the Bootios box that the New Day coined and made famous in around 2016. So a little teaser, I'm sure, for something coming up. I think the New Day's contract is the 90-day no compete clause is very soon coming to an end. So maybe a debut at this next pay per view, Micah.
Mm, that's interesting. And they've been teasing for the Bucks to be new AEW tag champions, or they're going for that. But currently, at the pay-per-view, Cage and Cope kind of have their own thing. The Bucks have their own thing. So I could see it that way, they could make it go into All In. Maybe that's the official New Day debut, and they just maybe tease it or something like that. But it's definitely it's almost uncanny. Even like the letter colors are like the same colorway of the old Bootios logo. And you know how the Bucks are. They don't ever do anything. Uh Usually there's a purpose behind what they do.
Yeah. But hey, I hate that we derailed that whole segment, Michael. But keep on driving us past this dynamite here.
Well, I had to talk about something that I actually liked, and that was it. But so
First off,
then we will talk about Osprey and Omega
mm,
because Osprey came out and I'm thinking, okay, this is the proposed main event for All In. This is where they're going. You know what I mean? We got a little more to talk about later about what they're doing at Redemption, but it's not going to matter. Kenny Omega is going to retain. It's going to be Omega and Osprey at All In, which is fine and dandy. I know what it's going to be going into it, but can you at least give me a reason to see it other than both of these guys do a certain style of wrestling and everybody thinks it's going to be 8 stars, and Meltzer's, going to do what Meltzer does. He's going to make his room even more messy.
oh, come on.
Besides all that, okay, how are these guys going to talk me into the building, right?
Yeah.
And then this dork, absolute goof. Bruv, this is like the first time you could say this is like real life Goku and Vegeta fighting it out in the middle of the ring. Dude. Oh my God.
Did he set anime back 20 years by saying that? I think he did.
Yes.
The public perception of anime just got set back. Bro,
And
how high on your own supply do you have to be to make that type of comment? Ignoring like the cringe element of the like comparing yourself to Goku and Vegeta.
I didn't even think about it that way.
Yeah, like how big is your ego, pal?
And not even in like, dude, it's one thing to be like, I know I'm the best wrestler in the world. Oh, okay. But like, I don't know, man. That is definitely a way to put it. And listen, man, like I said it in the video, y'all were not there in the anime fan trenches 10 to 15 years ago. Y'all were not there. I was. So when I say this is out of a place of love. Y'all did not know, Mr. Scoop reading the Naruto manga volumes in like 5th grade, hoping somebody would ask me why the book is the other way around, right? Nah, y'all weren't there. So I'm allowed to speak on this subject. That junk is cringe. Anime is not cringe, but it's how you talk about it. When I'm at work, I don't talk about anime. When I go out in public, I'm not going to have my, Hatsune Miku is my senpai t-shirt on. Because it's cringe. Like, this is what we all know, the kids in high school that had like the tails. And y'all are going to say I'm making fun of people. I'm really not trying to make fun of people. But we all know that group of people. This is the type stuff they would say in the hallway. Well. You could say this is like Goku and Vegeta fighting. I don't need to hear grown men say that. It was cringe when I was in 5th grade. It's worse now when I'm 24.
It's literally AEW suffering succotash promo. It is one of the worst. Like, it talked me out of the building. I want my ticket back. I want my watching experience back. It made me not want to. Bro, I was already not wanting to see Ospreay at all, but now I just don't want to ever hear from him again. And it was I think we all owe an apology to Anya Roon, Micah, because this sounds like something she would say. But at least Anya Roon is not fighting for the world championship in Evolve. This guy is supposed to be your main event attraction, your main event babyface for the biggest show you put out all year. And that line, and then how they've been treating him in this feud, him being Will Ospreay. He's basically Moxley's little buddy now. He compared himself to Goku and Vegeta in this segment, Micah, but then he was cowering away from the Don Callis family while the real main eventer showed up, John Moxley, to help out Goku and Vegeta.
Yeah, yes, Piccolo, we see the fit. Moxley has to show up on the show.
And yeah, he of course he evens the odds, and actually he didn't even the odds because the Don Callis family has 35 members, but just one John Moxley out there. That that now we mean business. Now you can't do much with it. So it just didn't make sense, and Moxley inserts himself into the main event feud, and I still don't know why people have no problem with this, but maybe it's just me, but I just don't want to see it, and I know what they're going to do in this match, Omega and Ospreay, and I'm ready to just get it over with. And yeah, Mike, that segment was a lot going on, and it was one of the worst segments they put out in a very long time. And we're not even counting the Kevin Knight 5-minute soliloquy. Kenny Omega had a conversation with Kevin Knight where Kevin Knight just stood there while Omega, for lack of a better term, gave him fellatio in the middle of the ring. Micah, would you call it that?
Well, that's what I commented back to somebody that was talking about the Omega Ospreay promo, because I said that was what Ospreay did to him, but then I deleted my comment and reworded it in a more PR friendly manner.
Yeah, I was about to say, did the terms of service not get you?
But no, I mean, I agree with you. And that's what bothers me too. Like, despite the cringe line or everything, because that is the big talking point coming out of it. More so, it's the lack of character development, because Ospreay, had this big neck injury. He lost to Moxley at the pay-per-view. He's joined the Death Riders. That was like this big thing, it was even bleeding into the New Japan shows. I think Callum Newman called him out. Oh, you want to join the Death Riders and da-da-da. So, okay, let's see a change of personality. Let's see a change of character. Let's see ruthless Will Ospreay. Oh, never mind, bruv. I just want to be like you. You're the greatest wrestler that's ever touched the AEW ring. What? I thought this group was supposed to be, Neo Moxley.
Broke his neck. He broke his neck too. We can't forget that. Moxley in storyline broke Will's neck.
Yeah. And as stupid as that is, that they are even together, friendly, cordial, or anything. Okay, sure, I can get with you on some wrestling logic. But then the dude doesn't even change. He's going to go into All In getting cheered.
Embarrassing.
So, that's my biggest thing, man. You want me to take him serious? Oh, he's a Death Rider now. Oh, he's a killer. He's ruthless. And instead, he just comes out and praises the guy that he wants to take the world title from. I don't know. I just didn't like it. It's one thing when you got a babyface versus babyface dynamic, and both guys have been babyface. But the Death Riders make no sense. Ospreay is cheered and universally loved as a babyface. Moxley is cheered and loved as a babyface, and they hate the rest of the group. It's like the Bloodline. They boo Jacob and the Usos, and they love Roman. And I'm like,
whoa. Hold up now. They don't boo the Usos. They don't boo Jacob. They cheer everybody. Everybody's a babyface. Nobody's a heel. Nobody gets booed.
No.
The only person that gets booed is Logan Paul. And
You're
he
right.
actually wants to be a heel. But yeah, bro, that we'll talk about that later. But that's one of the things in modern wrestling that I just can't wrap my head around. Like the heel and babyface dynamic should be, I don't want to say it should be simple, but why do we have to
It should.
does everybody, yeah, it should, yeah, but why does everybody have to be a babyface? Is nobody wanting to be a heel anymore? Do we not book heels?
God, I don't know. I'll give it to MJF for that. MJF is about the only guy that still wants to pretty much be booed all the time.
But even then, it just doesn't feel like the fans are actually hate him. It just feels like they're, giving a wink, wink, and a nod. Like I don't know. Just like when they boo Don Callis, bro, they don't really hate Don Callis.
Yeah. Like I
It's just,
really hate Don Callis. Like I
oh
will
yeah,
boo
yeah,
Don Callis.
yeah. I don't like him at all. But I don't think the fans like actually. You know who they hated? And this is a throwback, but do you remember what was his name? The guy that uh Lanning? What was his name?
Was it Dan Lanning?
Is that, yeah, I think you're right. Is it Dan Lanning?
It
Isn't
was
that
the
the head
American
coach
Top
of
Team
Oregon?
guy.
Isn't that the
Oh
head
wait,
coach of Oregon?
Dan Lanning is the yeah, he's the that's Oregon's head coach. I hate
That's
him
Oregon.
too, but
I don't know if he made an appearance on Dynamite. What
uh
was that guy's name?
Dan Lambert, that's it.
Oh, okay, Lambert. I deceived you, Mike.
You did. Dan Lanning,
Dan
the Oregon
Lambert.
head coach. I never would have thought that he would have got a shout on this show. Shout out him in Oregon.
Yeah. But yeah, they actually hated him on the show. They booed him legitimately. That was at least real heat, but I don't know if anybody has real heat anymore.
Well, no, that's
And
what was so refreshing with the El Grande feud. They
oh
actually
yeah,
hated Chad Gable.
yeah, yeah. I agree, bro. It just makes these shows. Like, I'm tired of the cool heels. I'm tired of they're tweener babyface. Give me a babyface. Give me a heel, man. It was
Yeah.
fine for a while, but just like the general manager concept, it got overplayed after a while, and you just didn't want to see general managers anymore, which they did do that for a while. But now they brought all the general managers back, so it was fresh again. But now with the babyface tweener versus babyface tweener thing, I think we need to get away from that concept for a little while.
It's unfortunately one of the worst byproducts of the NWO/Attitude Era is everybody wants to be
Yeah.
Stone Cold and everybody ain't Stone Cold.
And that is the very I think it's a detriment to having weekly television as well, especially so much weekly television that sometimes the booking just gets lost in translation, and you got to fill TV time somewhere, and sometimes a guy's character isn't portrayed how it should be, but you do it just to fill TV time. I hate to give them excuses, Micah, but it's one of those things about weekly TV shows as well. A lot of guys get overexposed, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. And not only that, but everybody is they're so much into the guy's personal lives and, oh, this is actually, my name is actually Phil Brooks. And like, that's fine. I get it. But like,
Yeah.
man, sometimes I don't want to know all that. Like Unreal, I have not watched an episode of Unreal. And I'm tempted, but I can't bring myself to do it because I like the veil. I like not knowing that much behind the scenes. Like I see clips, but
I,
I don't know.
I
It's just
think
my
Punk,
personal.
I think Punk and AJ Lee are a big part of this season right here.
I may
Of
check this
Unreal.
out too, just because they had the Cena stuff in it as well. That
Yeah.
like I kind of wanted to see how it worked behind the scenes. But yeah, man, I just I don't, I want to believe that Austin Theory is a cocky douchebag in real life. Now, obviously, if he was at a meet and greet, I'd shake his hand and say, thank you, sir. Nice to meet you. But
Mm,
I
If
don't know.
you went to that Fanatics Fest, you've been paying $900 for that handshake, pal.
It don't surprise me. I've been to conventions
Did you
before.
see
That junk
that?
is not cheap.
Did you see Jalen Brunson? What they were charging for the Jalen Brunson picture? I know we're going
No,
on a
I didn't.
sidebar here, bro. It was $900 for a picture with
That's the
Jalen
highest
Brunson.
I've ever seen.
Bro, I don't care. I'm not taking a picture with God Himself for
Oh,
$900,
come
bro.
on.
No, man. $900 for a handshake and a picture? Are you crazy?
There's nobody. I'll say this. There's nobody on earth that I would pay $900 for a
Okay.
picture for.
If they
My Lord Savior,
reincarnate a couple people,
I'll be there. But there's
all
no
right.
mortal person
Okay.
on earth.
Okay, fine. I'll take it back. Eddie Guerrero and God, if they're there for $900, all right, I'm there.
Okay.
But other than that, I can't justify spending $900 on a picture, Mike.
Yeah, nah, that's
I don't care
crazy.
how loaded you are. Like, how can you justify that?
That's oh my god, 1,000. Like when Cena. So we went to
$1,000.
MegaCon in Orlando. Well, I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. We're back on the road. We're just headed towards Madison Square Garden. Okay, just give us a minute.
All right.
But we had to make a stop at Fanatics Fest. And one time when I went to Orlando, MegaCon, Cena was there, and I want to say his like picture was like 250 or 300. And I was like, dude, there's no way. Like, I like John Cena. Maybe if it was $100, but I don't know. Now, and I say that. CM Punk had been there and it was 250. We're going to have to make it work, okay? It'll be
Bro,
tight this month. I
you
assume.
know what? I don't like the fact that guys, I know that's not Jalen Brunson himself charging $900, but I don't like the fact that it's so these guys are worth hundreds of millions of dollars, bro. Like your contract is literally Brunson makes $80 million a year. Why does he need $900 for this picture? Is he hurting for money?
No, so
That's just straight up greed from fanatics.
I can explain how this works because I've wondered the same thing. The people give the convention a rate to be there that, basically their hourly wage. Hey, if I'm going to be here and I'm going to be here for 8 hours, you're going to pay me $50 an hour. And they say, okay, here's how much money we would have to make or have to charge everybody to pay you and profit. And that's how they do it. So I don't know if Brunson's rate was like, well, I make, I don't know,
It's,
$30,000 for one NBA game, and that only takes me like an hour of court time. So make it work. But yeah, I don't know.
it's still, bro, it's crazy. Late stage capitalism, right, bro. It's insane that we've gotten here. Like back in the day, bro, there wasn't no. You think they were charging $900 for those like original uh, WrestleMania tours or signings they did right before WrestleMania? They had like big signings they did. I'm trying to think of the conventions. They had OG conventions of WrestleMania back in the mid '90s, Micah. You think they were charging $900 for a picture with Bret Hart?
No.
No, they weren't charging anything, bro. You got in there, you got in line, and you took your picture, and that was it.
And not only
But
that, I'm
now,
not saying that the guys shouldn't be compensated, but it kind of makes me think of that CM Punk promo where it's like, to you it was the best day in the world, and to me it was just Friday. And I know that's like obviously a dig at MJF in the promo, but like that is serious. Like if I went and met CM Punk, that would be something I remember for the rest of my life. If I saw CM Punk 2 weeks later and he saw me, he wouldn't know that I met him in that line. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So it's it is really kind of scummy how much they charge. And Fanatics is the world's worst anyways at upcharging bull crap. But we move on to Saturday night's main event. I don't think this review is going to be long, but nonetheless, we got to talk about it. They started us off with the women's tag team title match. Brie Bella and Paige defended against Fatal Influence. And Ryan,
Say, well, hold up now. What's the other lady's name? Fallon Henley, and who's the other lady?
oh, Laney Reed.
Okay, I didn't know her name. No disrespect, but I did not know who that was when she was
Well,
wrestling.
did you know that she was a track star at Alabama?
I did not know that.
I didn't either, but
Did
they
they
said
say
it on
that in the match?
commentary.
I had to, bro. I actually, we're getting on another sidebar, but I had to watch the first two matches in Spanish because the Peacock was on their BS and they wouldn't release the replay like as soon as it was over. So I had to watch, the first 2.5 matches in all Spanish.
Okay. You're fully committing to the AAA gimmick now, are you?
It probably was a lot. The commentary is 10 times better than the English counterpart. I'll give you that.
Not surprised. But yeah, they said it on commentary. She was a track star at Alabama. So,
Okay. All
she's
right.
over in my house. That's all it takes.
Okay. There you go.
But one nitpick I had during the match, Bree went to do some yes kicks. And
Oh
Fallon
god, yeah,
Henley.
yeah, arms
Yeah, you
flailing
can't flail the
around.
arms because then Bree was like trying to do it and like the arms were in the way and it just
Yeah, it
slowed the whole
looked
process
unnatural.
down.
It looked silly.
But ultimately, the match to me was just kind of here. I think it's a good thing to see Fatal Influence get some gold, but the match and the finish, they were
Yeah,
clunky at best.
yeah, it was there. Uh, they had a decent run with the tag titles, Bree and Paige, but they gave it a fatal influence. So we'll maybe Nikki Bella comes back soon, and maybe Bree and Nikki have a tag title run. We'll see. I know everybody was down on Fatal Influence, saying WWE dropped the ball on them, and then of course WWE put the tag titles on Fatal Influence. It's
Well,
almost like they were telling a story, Micah. You know?
yeah, it's if you don't immediately get gold, which I say that it depends on the person because like Obafemi, I think should be challenging for the world title at SummerSlam, but Fatal Influence didn't have to be world champion by night 2 to, really prove their worth. They're,
Yeah,
what I mean? They're cheap heels. Let them be
yeah,
cheap heels.
yeah. I agree.
Following that, we had a little backstage Sammy promo that I don't think there was a whole lot to remark on, but I just want to say it pisses me off the vitriol that came out for Sammy losing the title because 2 weeks ago, no, 2 months ago, oh my god, Sammy Hogan, he's boring, he's da da da, and Sammy's getting this character over,
Yeah, he
and
is.
it works too with the finish that they went with, for the tag match, we'll get there, but he's just a truth-telling heel, and that works, and Sammy's gonna make it work, so I don't know, man, I never switched up on Sammy, it makes me mad that everybody's, like, coming back to this side, "Oh, well, Sammy deserved this." Where were you 2 months ago?
They were saying the gingerbread man buried him, Micah.
Yeah. Now look at him. World champion. WWE champion. Can't take it away from him.
Mm.
But speaking of champions that you can never take away from them, following that, we had a odd match between
Oh,
Danhausen and JD McDonough.
and let me. I had a lot of fun watching this, bro. I can't lie to you.
Um, I'm glad you did. I I cannot believe how much they have done to get Danhausen over and how well it has worked to get
Yeah, it's
Danhausen
work.
over.
It has. It was very entertaining.
And the fans, we talked about it a couple months ago whenever they announced the Saturday night's main event in New York, after the Knicks had won the championship.
Let,
You know,
let me ask you something, Micah, before we get started. Did you have on your 2026 bingo card that the Knicks would win the NBA Finals or that midget wrestling would make a return to prime time? Did you have any of that on your 2026 bingo card?
I did not.
Okay.
It is a mainstay on every show now.
It is, yeah.
Um,
Danhausen getting the midget wrestlers paid, bro.
yeah,
Great guy.
and I mean, good for him, honestly, because it's not usually just like one. There's usually like five. He has
Well,
a
yeah,
crowd.
they got a many houses. Call
Yeah,
them by their name.
and I'm happy for him. I don't know what WWE's paying him, but I hope they are compensated handsomely. The match to me, and I'll let you steer the ship for a little bit, Ryan. It was a little long. I think it got a little, bogged down in the middle, but they ended big, no pun intended, with the
Ooh,
cloning machine bringing out Cat, Big Bodega, Big Purr.
whoa, Cathausen, excuse you.
Cathausen comes out, lands some good choke slams.
Hey,
Also
whoa,
for
before that, the garden exploded for Cat coming out that machine, Micah.
well, he's the NBA champion. Can't take it away
Yeah,
from him.
he was
And
huge, massive.
that's what I was about to say. I forget how big NBA players are by comparison to a regular person because they look, normal. Oh, they look tall on the court, but nothing crazy. But
Yeah,
oh my God, he is huge. And
bro, I've never seen this before, but Cat, he legitimately just stepped onto the apron and straight into the ring. I've never seen that. Usually guys will, climb onto the apron. No, he's like 2 steps. He treated the ring like I treat this baby gate I got at my house. They just stepped like it wasn't nothing. Insane.
when he put his foot over the top rope, there was so much clearance. I was like, oh my God, like I don't know, cause like, you used to see, Kane would do it, but, like,
Yeah,
in all reality, Kane's, like, what, 6'6", maybe?
about 6'9". I give him
Is he
in his
really?
younger day. In his younger days, yeah, he's about 6'8", 6'9".
Okay.
Because he was a basketball player at I forget where he played at, but
But even
yeah, he
then,
was tall.
add 5 more inches and,
Yeah, yeah.
Cat's, I think, 7 foot. I mean, those jorts he had on look like pants for Danhausen,
He did
and,
all this. He didn't need to take off his shades. Kept him on.
oh, no. Oh, Brunson didn't either. We'll get there. But landed 2 nasty choke slams. I thought they looked really good, which, credit goes to JD and Dom for taking those.
Yeah, they got
And
up there.
yeah,
Look like prime Kane in there. Attitude ever Kane with them choke slams.
the crowd exploded too, especially Dom going through the table. Danhausen
You didn't
picks up
like
the
this?
win.
You didn't like it? I thought this was entertaining.
You could skip until Carl Anthony Towns came out. That was my
Well, I'm
only
not
thing.
saying. Well, I'm not saying it was Carl Gotch and George Hackenschmidt in there. I'm saying that it was an entertaining segment that they had, and the crowd was eating out the palm of their hands. And unlike Brunson, Cat seemed to put in a little more effort into his appearance. So I give him credit for that. And bro, it was just you know what? Danhausen over the weekend and onto Raw, probably the MVP of the whole weekend for me.
Yeah, I mean, I did enjoy it. Like I said, it was mainly just like all the before. I was just kind of but I also think it was the way they formatted this show. I did not think that starting with the Fatal Influence, going into Danhausen, I don't think that was a great way to start. I think they should have maybe started with Danhausen, then went to Lyra, then went to Fatal Influence, and then had the match. Actually, they should have started with the freaking Roman segment, but
Yeah, I was about to say
we'll get there.
I would have main evented the show with this Danhausen segment or that tag match. I wouldn't have that Roman Brunson segment. We'll talk about it, but let's. You got anything else to say about this match?
No,
Danhausen won, by the way.
yeah, and it's just crazy to me that here we are, 2026. Who would have told us 2 years ago? Oh yeah, you see that guy moping around with Orange Cassidy, being all goofy? Yeah, he's gonna be in a prominent spot in the Garden with Carl
With a
Anthony
blimp
Towns and
and
a
a blimp.
blimp. Oh, and Cat's on the Knicks now, and he's an NBA champion. Oh wow,
Yeah,
okay.
this guy's gonna have the second highest selling T-shirt over the weekend at Fanatics Fest. No big deal.
Thank you, Oracle.
Bro
I definitely
outsold.
don't believe that.
Bro outsold Roman in T-shirts over the weekend. It's crazy,
That's
insane.
insane.
It is. Yeah, the guy eating chips with Hook is the second biggest merch seller in the company.
And as much as it's not for me, it's undeniable. But we'll move on to something that was for me, which was a
Oh,
ladies' match between Lyra Valkyria and Bailey. Now, they've been telling a story here, obviously. I did not know this, but I heard on commentary. Lyra and Bailey unsuccessfully challenged for the tag titles 5 times.
yeah. I feel like it was a lot of multi-man tag matches though. I don't think it was like a bunch of one-on-one tags. Did you like
Yeah.
Lyra's new entrance?
Yeah,
You skip that. Oh, okay.
yeah,
You
we
know
skip
what?
entrances here, pal.
Who's the music people over there in WWE?
Deaf Rebel, emphasis
Dev
on
Rep.
deaf.
You know what? They get a lot of heat. They got a lot of stinkers. Yeah, but for every 3 stinkers, they hit one out the park. I think they hit one out the park with Lyra's new theme. I actually really enjoyed it, and it was very well received online, Mike.
Hmm. I'll go back and listen to it then. As
Yeah.
far as the match goes, Lyra got busted open early. I believe
Oh,
Bailey hit her with an elbow right in the nose.
did Buster? Every match had color. You didn't. If you like this Extreme Rules? Like
Wait, who got
every match
busted
had
open in
blood.
the first match?
Fallon Henley got busted up. You don't remember?
Nah.
She was busted up on I think it was her mouth. She was bleeding. They were posing with the tag titles at the entrance, and one of the fans tried to grab her, and she crashed out. You don't remember seeing that?
Oh, yeah, you're right. What about
Yeah, every
Danhausen?
man. Think JD was cut up a little bit, but if
Hmm.
I'm not mistaken, every match had blood in
It's funny too because New York's like the one state that still has an athletic
it.
commission. uh,
No blade here, pal. Just
hard
hard
way.
way cuts the way God intended.
um, I will say it did look nasty. They showed the replay a couple times, but I thought that it helped kind of sell the viciousness of the match a little bit. But at the same time, it was kind of pissing me off because they kept stalling the match to like help her either stop bleeding or clean it up or check on her. But there was like 2 or 3 instances where Bailey would like try and push the topic and no, you got to hang on. And I get it. You know what I mean? Especially, like I said, they have a commission. But come on now. It comes with the territory. I thought it actually did help the match some. And once they stopped stalling because of the injury, I thought that this actually started rolling pretty well. I enjoyed this match. It felt like a grudge match. It didn't feel super contrived. We're going to do, these chain wrestling spots and everything's super helpful. And, we're doing handholds here. It was a struggle for both ladies. And that to me is always a good thing when you have a match like this where you're supposed to put over a personal beef. And Lyra picks up the win here. She had a little after match attack with Bailey, which some people were suspecting may write Bailey off. I'm not subscribing to that theory, but what did you think about the match and the aftermath overall, Ryan?
It was a better match than I expected. I thought they worked hard in there. Lyra busted out some new moves. She had like this over the ring post neck breaker type thing that she pulled off. And she debuted a new finisher, Micah. I don't know if you caught that, but she locked in the Moxley finisher, the Bulldog choke. Did you catch that?
Yeah, I thought the execution of her getting there too was pretty sick. I think she did like a takeover or something, but it looked like she was just,
Yeah.
pulling Bailey all over the place.
You know what? So far, so good. I've never been a big Lyra supporter, but I gotta say she's winning me over week in and week out, Micah. I know online A lot of bad faith fans are saying, "Oh, they just gave her Nikki Cross's gimmick." No, they didn't. Watch the shows, pal. She's not crazy. She's more like a sad version, like an unhinged, sad version of herself. She's not like mentally deranged like a Nikki Cross was supposed to be. I think that's bad faith, and she's pulling off the gimmick well. She changed her look up. They gave her new music. She's more brutal in the ring, so she's committed to it. And if she believes it, then it's gonna get over well with the audience, and it's getting over me. So far so good.
Yeah, and like you said, Nikki Cross was kind of the like deranged, mental patient type gimmick. To me, I kind of like Lyra's gimmick because she stripped away the glitz and glamour. Like she don't, at least from what I could tell, I don't think she really puts like a whole lot of makeup on. Like she's just herself coming out there,
Yeah,
to beat people up. Like she's sick of being ran over. And I kind of, like that in an era where obviously, the ladies like to get dressed up and do, their
yeah,
show, and I'm good for them. But it's a change of pace when somebody strips all that away.
yeah. She changed up her entire. She wears her hair different. She came out there with the disheveled shirt that she had on a week ago. That everybody was saying, fentanyl Lyra and stuff like that. I think she's committing to it, and that's what you want when you're debuting a new gimmick. And yeah, man, if I'm sure we'll build up something to SummerSlam. We got 2 weeks. They got 2 nights. We got to fill out both shows. So yeah, we'll see where it goes. But yeah, I thought it was a pretty good match overall.
And we move on to the main event match. CM
Oh
Punk and Cody Rhodes versus Gunther and Sami Zayn. Now, this to me felt like the old school 80s Saturday nights main event. You know what I mean? Main event players with main
yeah,
event problems doing main event things, right?
yeah.
And they started hot. Sammy and Punk started brawling immediately on the turnbuckle.
Oh
It,
man,
you know,
that felt. I love a good jump start. That felt real. And every time CM Punk and Sami Zayn interacted, they were throwing haymakers at each other. That was great. I want to see a real feud with those two.
yes, I agree. And I came away thinking the same thing because I want to say we were talking about it last week, talking about guys that throw good strikes. Sami Zayn can throw a good punch, and that's
Yeah,
rare in today's day and age.
yeah.
And yeah, I mean, like you said, I love a good hot start. They did it here. Gunther had a spot where he dropped Punk on the barricade back first. That looked rough. Uh, he also hit a chop before that just completely leveled Punk. Good stuff from Gunther. Now, I want to see if you had the same feeling I did, Ryan. But remember, shortly after that, we got a segment where Cody tagged in and he just fired up. He had two Cody cutters. He was going crazy in there. And for the first time in a long time, I was like, man, that's a fiery baby face. Like, I'm interested to see what this guy does right now. And I just feel like I haven't felt that in so long with Cody. And I think it's because he's just been the tired champion. And he's so much better chasing. And right here, I feel like he kind of got me a little bit back on his side. It wasn't anything crazy, but it's just like, the fire of a challenger. Whereas when I see that WWE championship on him, it's okay. I know what I'm getting. It's the 3-star general.
Yeah, I agree with you. And you know what? We gave it last week, rightfully so. We said we didn't want, I want you at your best. I want to, I want the old. We didn't get any of that after the match and at the SummerSlam kickoff, which they had 2 weeks before SummerSlam. I still don't understand that, but they are more babyface heel type dynamic, and it actually seems like there's friction here. There's actual problems, and they have done a good job of heating up this feud on a 2 week notice. They've done a great job so far, and I can't wait to see what they do for the next two SmackDowns because I know that Cody and or CM Punk are gonna have the talk them into the building type promo, and they got a lot of history together, especially going back to they got the whole brother and brother dynamic. CM Punk, a lot of people don't know, but Dusty Rhodes' favorite guy was CM Punk for a long time, and CM Punk looked up to a Dusty Rhodes, uh, and we got the dynamic with Dusty's kid now. So I mean, it's gonna be interesting what they can do. But yeah, man, nothing beats a great All Star tag match. I wish we got more of that on the weekly show because we used to get that a lot back in the day, Micah. Remember on Raw, it used to be like a John Cena and a Randy Orton teaming up against Edge and Chris Jericho. You remember we used to get stuff like that?
I know people
We don't get
online,
that anymore.
they hate the can they coexist tag matches. And I don't know if it's just because it's a byproduct of my childhood and the era I grew up in. I love can they coexist tag matches when it actually feels main event. Like when it's actually four guys and I'm like, dang, I could really see any of these guys winning. It's it's good stuff to me. And
Yeah,
uh,
remember when the main event guys wrestled on a weekly basis? You remember
yeah,
that?
that too. A couple more spots I wanted to mention. There was a moment when Punk and Cody both had submissions on the guys. Gunther then, while in a submission by Cody, gouges Punk's eyes to let Sammy out, and then you could hear him call Sammy, "Hey, help me out." Great tag team work right there. This was so old school, and I loved it. However, we always got to have
Mm.
one thing. I always call out that there's too many guys in the ring. We got to get some chaos. It got a little chaotic towards the end. I don't think Charles was calling it all the way down the middle in terms of who he was letting stay in the ring and who should have been in the ring. A great false finish with the career killer when he knocked Cody off the apron, rolled it back into he locked Punk into the career killer as he knocked Cody off the apron. And ultimately, when it looks like Gunther's going to get the win here, title shot power bomb, we get a returning Nick Aldis pulls the referee out of the ring, costs Gunther the match, even though they flubbed the camera a little bit. And this ultimately sets up Aldis versus Gunther at SummerSlam. What did you think overall about the finish? Did you have anything that you wanted to mention that I missed?
Nah, I thought he did a good job here with the finish. I kind of wish, this is me hoping, but I kind of wish that the stipulation was whoever wins becomes general manager and just have Gunther, I don't know, screw over CM Punk and Cody Rhodes at every turn. And then, maybe Aldis gets his job back in the winter time. But I know it'd probably be a straight meltdown online if Gunther stops wrestling and becomes the general manager. But, I think it's going to be a good match when Gunther and Aldis lock up. And I'm sure Aldis he has a lot more left in the tank. Just look at him. So, yeah, I'm interested in SmackDown, man. That's my show now. I'm all in.
Yeah. Are you buying into the hate that I've seen online all like day, really the past couple days about Aldis being washed, being boring, Magnus was never a good wrestler. That's all I've seen.
You know what? At the time, he did have that reputation, but I feel like he did a good job of rehabbing his reputation in the NWA, especially during like the early resurgence of NWA around that 2016 era. So I thought he turned it around as far as the perception of him goes. But I remember hearing about the boringness that was Magnus in TNA. I never thought he was out of place. I didn't think he was boring per se. I didn't see his later stuff in TNA, so maybe I missed something. But
I I enjoyed him. Now, I just think he's a big match style worker. He's not gonna, show you anything crazy, but he's gonna get you through like Cena. You know what I mean?
so
And Apparently,
I
that's
thought,
bad nowadays, but Cena gets to pass with it. And when in his decrepit state last year, people would
oh
tell me,
god,
"Oh, bro, he's putting on bangers."
you know what? I've actually enjoyed Nick Aldis's match with Cody Rhodes. I don't remember what show that was, but it was one of the early. Maybe it was before it was officially AEW. Actually, maybe it was
Was it
like
all
the
in?
All In show. It might have been All In. I think it was,
I think you're right. Yeah,
but
because I
they had
think they had their time cut or something because somebody went long.
a lot of matches went long, pal. I believe it was Okada's match with old Marty Skrull that went
Oh,
long,
the villain.
but in more ways than one. But yeah, I don't think Nick Aldis is I think he can talk his ass off, and I think he's pretty solid in the ring. So
Good enough for me.
yeah,
But we move on to the main event segment, the OTC with the King of New York, Jalen Brunson. They ran a good package for Brunson about, what it means to be King of New York and all that good stuff. He walked through the halls, the hallowed halls of Madison Square Garden. I thought all that was good. He meets up with Roman right before they walk out with the longest, most drawn out entrance. And I say that they already ran the package and had him walk through, and then he did the entrance with Roman, and it was so long. It had to be 10 or 15 minutes.
I think it was the
And
last 25 minutes of the show.
oh my God, it don't surprise me. And then just Roman basically glazed him for 5 to 10 minutes, ran down the accomplishments, what it means to be the king of New York, and da da da. We get a run in with Tyrese Halliburton to the music of Seth Rollins. Seth runs in, attacks Roman. Mr. Mr. Charisma, Jalen Brunson steps in the way of Seth trying to attack Roman. Roman comes through, Superman punch. Seth runs away with Tyrese Halliburton. What a weird segment to main event and just the dichotomy of everything. I'll let you start with the breakdown, Ryan.
I don't know if there's much to break down here. It didn't look like Brunson's heart was in it, even though the fans were giving him, the red carpet treatment. They were cheering for him, chanting MVP, OTC. Everybody was. Roman seemed to be playing into it, but Brunson didn't really. He didn't seem like he wanted to be there. And then we got of course, Seth Rollins's music hit, and I thought they needed somebody for Brunson to work with. So I assumed that we were gonna get a Trey Young appearance because he was the original heel that New York loved to hate for a little while back in, I think, about 2021 ish. But no, we got Halliburton, Tyrese Halliburton, with point guard for the Indiana Pay, which is fine. He's a big fan. He seemed to be enjoying himself there, actually trying. But then we get Mr. Freaking Seth Rollins coming out behind Brunson and Roman Reigns, and Seth Rollins attacks Roman Reigns, and I think he's lining him up for a curb stomp. And then Brunson, by the way, mind you, is just standing there in the ring, kind of halfway holding the title belt that was gifted to him by Roman, just like kind of and like not shaking his head no the whole time. It didn't seem like he wanted to get physical, and Seth lined up for the curb stomp. Halliburton is on the outside too. I don't know what the hell he was doing out there. Just kind of, I don't know, he was laughing or maybe he was cheering Seth on. I don't know. It just felt out of place. Like you should have been in the ring for this. At least hold Roman down or something. I don't know. But go back to it, Micah. Seth is lining up for the curb stomp. Brunson steps in the way, and that little distraction caused Roman Reigns to get the upper hand on Seth Rollins. Roman Reigns delivered a spear. I think maybe a Superman punch before the spear, but Rollins is hightailing it out of there with Halliburton. and it just left me very confused as to who the heel is, who the babyface is, and why should I care? This should have been a dark match, a dark segment, and yeah, we go off the air, and I was very disappointed in the way we ended things here on an overall entertaining show. If they would just cut the last 25 minutes off, I think it would have been a very thumbs up show. But because of that, I don't know. Maybe we have to put a thumbs in the middle for this one. You got anything to add here, Micah?
No, just I would like to elaborate a little bit on, who's the heel, who's
Yeah,
the baby face. We talked
yeah,
about that earlier, and here, you have the presumed heel Roman Reigns with his group that are attacking baby faces that are in a match against a group of baby faces at SummerSlam, and their ringleader is coming out with the biggest baby face in New York, the King of New York in New York. And then the
yeah,
babyface Seth Rollins comes out with the villain of New York, Tyrese Halliburton.
yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but when the NWO had those matches with Dennis Rodman and Carl Malone, were any of those in Salt Lake City or Chicago?
The match, no, but they did make appearances in the United Center with Dennis Rodman.
Okay, but who were they? Who did Carl Malone team with?
Oh, that was DDP, pal.
Okay, and Hogan teamed with Dennis Rodman. So
Okay,
who?
well, wait a minute. Let's that actually that's probably the same. That's probably a good comparison because the baby faces of the NBA was the Bulls.
But was Dennis Rod like I thought Rodman was kind of always hated, and like the Bulls were. I figured the Bulls were also a little hated during that time because it's like the Warriors in
Nah,
2016.
no, no, sir, no, sir. The Bulls were loved. That was the most. Or you thought any old head, their favorite player is still Michael Jordan. They loved the Bulls.
Yeah, I
Everybody
guess
loved the
that's true.
Bulls. They were doing their highest ratings in the history of the NBA when the Bulls were on top. For a finals game, it did like NFL numbers.
Mm, okay, well,
Yeah, it was
yeah. I mean, I
insane. But
guess
no, that's actually a good comparison though, because it's kind of the same situation. Babyface of the NBA is teaming with the heel of wrestling at the time.
yeah, it's a weird
But
dynamic, and like again,
Rodman at least had his heart in it. I don't think Brunson wanted to be there.
no, I don't know. For a guy that makes his living off being, the most clutch player, boy, oh
He's
boy,
not a
did he
very
look like he
interesting
was
guy.
nervous in
Yeah,
front of everybody.
yeah, he doesn't look very. I'm sure he's a nice guy, but he just looked uninteresting.
Yeah. So I don't know. I thought the show was fine overall. The matches were, but this right here, mm,
Sour
I'll
note.
never
Yeah,
get that 25 minutes of my life back.
it ended on a sour note.
Yeah. Nonetheless, we move on to a quick hitter with Raw. We got some redemption predictions as well, so we'll move through this. We had a
Oof.
tag match to start us off. Division, Braun Breaker and Austin Theory with Logan Paul and Maxine defeated Javon Evans and Dragon Lee. Now, I wrote this initially. Now, I know we talked about Santana earlier, but I wrote that Javon is so exciting, and this is why you need to bring guys up to the main roster when they aren't 35 years old. Santana was not my initial thought when I wrote this. I was more thinking of, NXT call ups of yesteryear, the Coles, the Champas, the Garganos,
I
these
just
young
want
guys.
guys that aren't overexposed. I just want those type of guys.
Yeah, 100%. And Javon is just so energetic. The fans love him. He's such a breath of fresh air. And I thought this was a pretty solid tag match. I still do, hate it for Braun Breaker, but
Oh, come on. He's being featured.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, he is being featured, even if it's not in the spot that I think he should be. I think when Logan comes back, things will kind of work their way back to where they were supposed to. Uh, and one last thing I had to remark, which there was an aftermath angle. I don't know if you want to talk about it, Ryan, but I wrote whenever Theory starts getting some main event money, he better give a percentage to Maxine because she is going to elevate him to that level. This is the absolute most interesting Theory has been in years.
And the fans are reacting to it too. So you can see it getting over every single week, and they are committed to it. And I don't know, man. It's I know this is a work, work. So it just seems like maybe we're gonna work ourselves into a shoot with Maxine and Theory. I don't know, just some chemistry there. I don't know.
Well, I don't know
Hand
what's going on
placement is
with
a
the
little questionable at times.
well, it's just a gimmick, brother. Don't work yourself into a shoot.
All right, okay, all right.
But no, in all seriousness, man, it's an easy concept. Douchey
Yeah,
guy with the hot girl that you think, oh, she could be, she could be with a nice guy like me if you're
like
Otis.
Otis. Yeah,
But nah, man, I'm actually enjoying it. I somehow think the Maxine addition has breathed new life into the Vision. Maxine
yeah,
already a better addition than Seth Rollins? Are we
absolutely,
there?
absolutely. We were there week one, segment one, but the bar's in hell with that. So anything they could have had the popcorn vendor come out there and him in theory could be a thing. I don't know. That would have been an upgrade from Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought it was a good tag match. Lee and Javon worked well together. But yeah, we don't gotta stick on this too long here.
No, we'll move on to some more groups getting pummeled. The Judgment Day, JD
Oh,
McDonough had a match
oh my
against the
God.
one, the only, the ruler, Obafemi. Poor
Was
guy.
that a match? Was that a
It was a
match?
it was a contest. The bell rang.
He don't get paid by the hour.
No, Oba makes quick work of JD McDonough, but I have to mention the best back body drop I've ever seen in my life was in this match. Oh
J-
my god.
JD is very underrated. He's been doing. I've come around to JD. I think he does. He's a pretty entertaining cat, and especially in the backstage segments. I don't know if you caught it, but the segment that set this match up was very entertaining. And yeah, it's one of the things that we're missing on the weekly stuff, as far as actual entertaining, not Disney sitcom entertaining backstage segments. And I thought it hit it out the park. And then we had JD get absolutely demolished by Obafemi as he should. He shouldn't go 15 minutes with Obafemi. Yeah, I thought it was good business. Good business, and crowd loved to see Oba. Got to see the entrance, and yeah, man, great squash match.
Is it crazy? Is it crazy if I say that JD McDonough is like this era's Dolph Ziggler?
I'm getting there. I don't think that's ridiculous to say at all.
Okay, because I see some gold in JD's future. I'm serious. I see it. I see an IC title run.
He's 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 charismatic too. I don't know how to. I don't know how to. He's a small guy, yeah. Head is rather large, but I don't know. It's just he's a charismatic guy. He's not gonna be the Rock in there, but as far as like a solid hand, entertaining in ring performer, and a pretty solid promo, I think Dolph is probably a really good comparison.
Yeah. I think Dolph had a higher ceiling, obviously, but JD is that
Hell yeah,
guy.
yeah.
Put him in there, you're gonna get something good out of him. You know he's gonna make the guy look great. And
And,
I gotta give him praise here.
and you know they were
And
hiring him. They were hiring him on NXT UK because whenever they brought in main roster guys to NXT UK, they would face JD McDonough. I think he was Jordan Devlin at the time, but apparently he was a big Shawn Michaels guy because Shawn Michaels booking NXT UK at the time.
I did not know that. But yeah, I
Yeah,
can see And the last segment we had on Raw was another guy that you could call Dolph Ziggler in another way. We got LA Knight cutting a promo before his main event match with Jacob Fatu. We're not really going to get into the match, but it's just, if you missed anything from Raw, go watch this promo from LA Knight, because it is a shame that this guy has not been a world champion yet. I know that everybody says that. I know, like, oh, popular opinion of the day, LA Knight should be world champion. I know that it's tired and played out. But man, when I look at it, I'm sick of the part-timers. I'm sick of the guys that have been here for 15 years. I'm sick of cinema. I'm sick of, oh, well, you need to be, this great worker or whatever. No. LA Knight will talk me into the building. LA Knight will sell me on a good feud. LA Knight will make you love him. LA Knight will make you hate him. How is this guy not a world champion by now? Because this right here, excellent.
Bro, he looked dead into the camera and just cut an intensive promo where he built up all of the people in that 6-man tag match while also burying, not burying in a bad way, but just, running down Roman and Seth on the mic. Actually, they probably should get buried. He spoke the truth about Roman, saying, and I know I'm going to butcher it, but basically saying that everybody in the back wanted Roman to be somebody like an LA Knight. And even Roman knows deep down that he wanted to be someone like an LA Knight. And it cut deep because, bro, tell me when he's telling lies, because that was the big knock on Roman for a long time. I know he's changed the narrative on him the last couple of years with the bloodline and the tribal chief stuff. But for a long time, bro, they wanted Roman to be that next big baby face, that John Cena type microphone promo guy. He just never quite had it. And the fans gave him the John Cena treatment by booing him out the building. I think it was probably a little worse. But I mean, LA Knight just reminded us all of that. And it made me sad, bro, because he should be higher on the card. I don't know how it's possible that we're, even after when we went to that show in 2023 when he was the most over guy on that show for that SmackDown we went to, it pains me that that guy still hasn't crashed through that glass ceiling. How? I just don't understand.
I don't either. And I don't
I'm waiting.
care that he messes up in the ring every now and then. You know what I mean? I don't give a crap. He makes me feel something on the mic,
Yeah.
and that's all that matters.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It truly is a shame. And then, like, you look at WrestleMania, what was he doing? He was in a 6-man tag match. Okay, 6 months later, have we progressed? Has the character gotten any better? Oh no, we're still in a 6-man tag match with the bloodline, the same people he's always messing with. So I'm over the bloodline vortex, if you guys can't tell. But
Yeah.
nonetheless, that was Raw. We're gonna hit some quick hitter predictions for AEW Redemption this week. This is definitely not the full card because they only have 8 matches on here right now, but we haven't obviously Dynamite has not come out yet. So as of right now, which is the Wednesday before Dynamite, we have for the AEW Women's World Championship, Tekla versus Willow Nightingale.
I think go Tekla here. I wouldn't mind Willow taking the title off of her.
I'm gonna go Willow because I hope and I feel like that's a bigger match for them to run for All In.
Willow and Mercedes is bigger than Tekla and Mercedes?
Yeah, I think so. And I think they'll have a better match too.
Wow. I agree with the better match, but I don't think it's the biggest match they can do.
Well, I just call it wishful thinking. But if Willow wins it here, Mercedes is not winning at All In.
Tekla's been treated like the top star of that division for the last 6 months. I know the fans don't treat her like that in the arena, but she's been treated as the top star.
Yeah. I guess she's maybe she's doing Tony Khan like she's doing that Stardom guy backstage.
Oh man,
But
bidding on him?
nonetheless, we have an AEW National Championship match. Mark Davis versus Andrade El Idolo.
Oh God, Andrade, of course.
Gotta be right. I can only
Yeah.
hope. Following that, oh boy, in the You Light My Fire match, the
Come on now.
Painmaker Chris Jericho versus Tommaso Ciampa in a no holds barred match.
Well, if it's the Painmaker, Micah, Painmaker's gonna win. I think Jericho wins it.
Yeah, especially since Ciampa won their last outing. I gotta agree with you. For the AEW International Championship, Kyle Fletcher versus Bandito.
Is Bandito still the ROH World Champion? I can't tell.
That's a great question.
He's
Yes,
got to
he
be,
is.
right? Okay, well, he's losing this then.
Yeah. We don't do double champs. We don't put over Ring of Honor.
Yeah, I was put on Ring of Honor. Nobody watched that show.
Don't even mention Athena. Athena, hide your head. They might
the
put you in a squash match.
the 15 writers for the Wrestling Observer, they are the only ones watching Honor Club. I can guarantee that.
Yeah. They're making a combined $50 a month off Honor Club.
Yeah.
For the AEW World Tag Team Championship, Cage and Cope versus the Death Riders, Claudio Castagnoli and Pac.
go at Cage and Cope, yeah.
Yeah, I don't even know why this is happening.
It could
Another
be a good
tag
match.
Oh, yeah. I don't know.
You don't care.
You know what?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna doom it. Cage and Cope can have good matches, but I think it'll be one of those that I'm in the room while it's happening.
Okay, fair enough.
But speaking of a tag match that's probably gonna blow your socks off, the Death Riders, John Moxley and Will Ospreay, Goku and Piccolo, versus the Young Bucks, Matt Jackson and Nick Jackson.
I think we get a no contest here. A
No
DQ or no contest. Yeah. I don't think they want to beat either guys on the way to All In.
A black hole forms in the ring because no one's willing to take a pin.
Don't get me salivating, Micah. Yeah, maybe we get an appearance from maybe a debut in New Day. I don't know.
A new
Can they say no? It can't be New Day.
Yeah, an arriving afternoon.
An old evening.
An old evening. Yeah, we'll workshop it.
They are older.
Yeah, and there's no Big E, so
there is no E.
We'll see. Got two more left. The AEW TBS Championship match: Hikaru Shida versus Maya World.
Wow. I guess Maya World. Yeah, cash in on that.
I'm gonna go Shida because typically they never strike when the iron's hot, and they're gonna wait for All In.
Okay, fine. That's all right.
I feel like my logic's pretty sound. And in the proposed main event, I don't know if this is going on last, for the AEW World Championship, Kenny Omega versus Kevin Knight.
There you go, Kenny, in a 35-minute match.
Yeah, it's got to be Omega. I don't think I gave a prediction for Omega, or I'm sorry, for the Death Riders Young Bucks match. I'm going to go Death Riders because John Moxley will win until morale improves. But okay. I really don't know because it does feel like the immovable force versus the unstoppable object in terms of who needs a loss or who's willing to take one. Which in theory, the odd man out here is Moxley. He should take the pin, but Moxley don't do no jobs, pal.
Yeah, Moxley ain't losing.
But nonetheless, ladies and gentlemen, we will be back next week. It is PLE extravaganza time, so no more weekly reviews. So make sure you come back next week. Enjoy some wrestling over the weekend, AW Redemption, plus all your favorite weekly shows. Enjoy the Second City Saints saving SmackDown. Say that 3 times fast. And make sure you check out our socials at ScoopSlam. Thank you guys for tuning in. Take care of yourself and have a good one.